All right. Ooh, all right. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome everyone on in. It is day 4 of the How to Level Up Challenge. The game of life called you. Peace and greetings to everyone. Welcome on in, Dante. Welcome on in, Cosmic Love. Welcome in, Michelle Davina. Come on in, everyone. We're gonna get this started. I know you all were thinking, where is Ms.Blue? But don't worry, I am just as committed to the Level Up Challenge till November the 19th, every single day, just like each and every single one of you. So, as we're getting ourselves situated here, I'm just kind of getting myself situated in the spaceship here. Let me know where you're all tuning in from, what city, what state, what country, and let's get those likes up. And also, let's send out those invites to let our soul family know that we are live, that we are live. And I want to say thank you to everyone who has been inviting more people in to do the challenge with us here. It's been pretty exciting. It's been pretty exciting. I have definitely enjoyed connecting with everyone. And welcome to the new people joining us for the very first time here live in the remix with the Alchemy Collective. I am Ms.Blue, the Soulful Oracle, and I'm so glad to have you all here. We have Mr. Dante who's moderating for us at this time. So, good morning, good night, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome on in. We have Georgia checking in, Colorado Springs checking in, Illinois is checking in, the VA is in the house, Trinidad is in the building. Welcome into our international listeners out there. How are we feeling on day 3? We have completed 3 days of the Level Up Challenge. 3 days. New Jersey is in the building. Louisiana is in the building. Welcome on in. 3 days of the challenge. You all have to let me know, how has it been going for you? And if you're just now starting, if you're just now getting wind of the challenge, it is not too late for you to make sure that you go back and you complete day 1, day 2, and day 3, and then you're going to be getting day 4 today. Welcome on in, Philly. Philly in the building. Florida is in the house. The Marsh Islands is in the building. Welcome on in. Ohio is in the house. Toronto, Canada is in the building. By the way, shouts out to all the Divine Priestess in the building. Let's get those likes up as well. Georgia is checking in. How is the weather? For those of us who are on the northern hemisphere, we're going into our winter sort of season, fall season, winter, even though it still doesn't feel like it. And for the rest of you all on the southern hemisphere, you're going into your spring and summer as well. North Carolina in the building. Welcome in. Let's get the likes up, you guys. Let's get the likes up. Are we excited about day 4? Day 4. So I wanted us to come on today because we are going to be doing this leveling up challenge. The Oracle guides, we're actually taking pages out of my Oracle guides because we have a powerful 1111 gateway activation coming up. And today's steps on day 4 is what you're going to do to be in perfect alignment for that energy that's coming up here soon. So we're going to get into alignment for that energy. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. So, welcome back, powerful creators. So, today, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be grounding ourselves. And we're going to be grounding ourselves by looking back on what we have done so far. Now, there are certain instances where looking back is not really a recommended thing. I'm sure we're all feeling that right here in the US, but we're going to look back. We're going to look back at it. We're going to go back for 3 days. We were having, by the way, let me ring the bell, a powerful conversation in Self-Invested in the Spirit Guides and Animal Guides and Ancestor Guides class on Tuesday night, and had some profound discussions around ancestors. I'm not going to go into and disclose all of that information of where we dive deep into the spiritual aspect of things of life, really deep into, you know, the esoteric and the occult world. But I'll share this with you because it was so profound that one of the students in the class, Candy, came up with this after we were having this discussion, and she posed the question, Miss Blue, maybe we're having such a hard time of letting things go in this lifetime because I remember you sharing with us that everything that we're working on in this lifetime is from a past lifetime. So is that why by default we revert back to the past? I thought that was so profound. And it wasn't even something that I had looked at in that particular way. And the answer to the question is absolutely. We default to the past. And we default to the past in most cases to negative scenarios. We tend to hold on to them because everything that you're working on in this lifetime is from a past lifetime. The beautiful thing is by staying present, then you are fully in awareness and connected with the past, the present, and the future. And that's the real magic. So here we are on day 4 of the Level Up Challenge. And we are going to be looking back. And what I want you to pay close attention to here is I want you to pay close attention to what you have done so far. What have you done so far as the Leveling Up Challenge? What have you done so far? Because everything that you have worked on in this challenge is setting the stage for what's next. So I thought it would be fitting, especially since it's brown sugar time for most of us around the world, that if we harness all that we have already begun to set in motion, someone type in motion in the chat, because we have set so many things in motion. And we are bringing it deeper into our lives with purpose and balance. With purpose and balance, so much is happening right now that can be a distraction for you in your life. So much can be a distraction. And so much can want your mind to go to something negative. Instantly, something negative. With current events and things that are happening in the world, do not forget who you are. And there is a polarity here. And you can look at your situation as something that is holding you back, something that is negative, or a sign from the divine, and you can tap into the higher frequency of that energy. Especially when we start to look at this political system and what's happening with our presidency. This is a wake-up call for so many people in this world. And if you're feeling that calling, then we have a lot more people who are now awakened to a different state of consciousness than they were prior to the election. But I'm talking about those of us who are creators on the planet. And because when you're the one who knows better, then you're the one who should be doing better. After all, this is a how to level up in the game of life challenge. And you wouldn't be here listening to me or doing this chat challenge if this has come across your timeline and you've tapped into this. Know that you're supposed to be doing this work on a leveled up level. And I want you to challenge yourself going forward that you do that. Because as a creator, you can take something that someone deems as a negative situation, and you can take that and you can elevate it to the next level. Let me tell you why that's powerful. Because many, many months ago, and you can always dive back into the archives of shows that I've done. You can just search for the remix with Ms.Blue on any place that you get your podcasts. I talked about the Akashic records being archived away, and that what was happening is that it's because the future was not written in stone for humanity going forward. And so basically, we would be writing our own story. So imagine yourself if you were back in ancient times, in a past life, and you were standing in the middle of the square, because this is where our poets used to be, our newscasters back in ancient time. And they would tell the story of the people and what was happening all around them. And so as we have our devices and we have different social media platforms and televisions and radios in our vehicles, and we have all of these different ways that we can get information and news, YouTube being one of them. Back in ancient times, they would stand in the middle of the squares, the gestures, and they would listen for days to the conversation, what people were talking about, what was trending, what was going viral, what was on the people's hearts, and what was in the people's minds. And they would begin to start speaking that. And so while you were out to what we would now call the farmers market, but that was their Kroger's, that was their Whole Foods, that was their Albertsons, that was their Central Market, that was their whatever grocery store, that was their Albertsons. That's where they went to go get their food. And they would listen to the gestures tell them what was going on. Now, if we go back a little further than that, and we go back to ancient Kemet or ancient Egypt, where we had the scribes. And the scribes were the ones who would pull out their tablet, like many of us do, and they would document what was going on. Most scribes were studying to become priest or priestess. Many of them turned to be oracles. And they would sit there and they would begin to write. A portion of what they were writing is actually what was happening. But the other portion was what was going on in the mystery schools and what they were able to set intention for and foretell for what was coming for the future. So, the reason I'm telling you this so you can understand who you are is that when you're holding these thoughts and when you're saying these words, be advised that you are not only writing into the records of your life, but you are writing the records of the world. And whatever frequency and vibration and whatever you are being captivated with and whatever your emotions are fueling, you are adding to it. And that is being written. If you see your path forward being one that is challenging and one that is doom and gloom, then you must fulfill your own prophecy. Because after all, you are the creator in your world and you are writing your records. So let's make sure that we are contributing, because that's what we talked about yesterday. And we are writing records that we actually want to live. And so on this day, as we sort of take an opportunity to take a look back and look at the work that we have done so far, because we understand we are setting the stage for what is next. We are going to be harnessing all that we have set in motion because we are bringing it deeper and deeper into our lives and into the world with purpose and with balance. So here's an overview of day 1 and day 3. By the way, everything is listed below. If this is your first time listening, feel free to go back and make sure that you listen to all of the days, day 1, day 2, and day 3. Day 1 was about decluttering and cleansing, right? We begin to do the clearing out. It was sort of symbolic and energetic of what no longer serves us. We did activities and exercises. Day 2, we were visualizing the path forward. And here we shift our focus on the clarity using visualizations and really pulling in these images of our goals and our aims, right? And the purpose was to connect us to a sense of purpose and possibility. On day 3, we kind of wrote an open letter to ourselves. It was a letter of activation. And through that heartfelt energy of coming through the 4th chakra, we began to start to craft a spell, right? Which we infuse with love and intentions. We acknowledge the emotional challenge of the present situation that was taking place, but we also affirm that we were in control of our personal future. Now, many of you have told me that you have written your letter and you have sealed it and you are sending it off with your intentions, waiting for it to arrive on November the 19th. So when you get your letter back, I'm not going to go into that. Go back and listen if you have questions. Well, today, on this day, day 4, here we go. I want you to grab a pen and a piece of paper because I want you to write this down. I'm going to give you guys something I have not shared anywhere before. And this is what's going to put you in perfect alignment. You want to do this before this portal closes. We're coming up on the 1111 gateway activation. So we are going to be doing a quantum blueprint zone chart. So we will be working with zones. And I'm going to tell you about those zones, what those zones mean, how to activate those zones, how to build your quantum blueprint. So here we go. Here we go. Number one, this has everything to do with energetic ley lines, portals, points of activation, your energy centers, your chakras, and feng shui. So, you're going to be starting with the center room. And this is going to be the center of the room. So it can be the center of your bedroom. I want you to think about it. So if you're just staying in a small space and it's all just an open floor plan or loft, you're going to start in the center of the room, the center of the largest room or the largest gathering room in your house. For some of us, that would be the living room. For others, that may be your bedroom or just the middle of your house, because this is the core. And this is where you're going to get the self alignment. And so, what you're going to want to do here, you're going to place a single object in the center of the room. Now, here's some things that you can place in the center of the room. You can use a crystal. You can use a candle. You can use a piece of jewelry. So if you have like a ring or something that it needs to be something meaningful to you. If you're not using a crystal, if you cannot use a candle and you're in a place where you cannot use a candle, or maybe you have small children or elderly, or it's just not conducive for you to use a candle, I'm going to tell you what you're going to do. You're going to cut out a piece of aluminum foil. And then you're going to take a small piece of paper and you're going to draw a candle on that paper. You're going to take that paper and place it in the center of that foil, and you're going to squeeze that aluminum foil up, infusing your intention and everything into that foil and place it in the center of the room. That way you can leave it there. If the dog kicks it, if the cat licks it, if the baby stomps it, if grandma throws it, it's not going to do any damage. Now, if all of that fails and you can't use any of that, like I said, you can take something that is significant to you, something that has your personal energy in it. So typically this would be jewelry. It can be a necklace. It could be a ring. It could be a bracelet. It could be a hair tie. It could be a watch. It can be something that you can place in the center. Now, as you're placing this object, you're going to place something, you're going to place this in the middle of the room, in the core. Remember, this is the self-alignment. It can be any inspiring object that you feel, okay? Because this is something, what it ultimately is going to do is represent your divine purpose. And here's the thing, even if you don't know what your divine purpose is, you know in your heart you have one. I want you to work with your feelings and your emotions in there. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to visualize it as being a powerful cell, like a block, a cell, like a cell, meaning a cell filled with power and light. You know how back in the day, Kim Impossible, she would throw those little things on the floor and step on them in the cartoon, and it would open up a whole portal and light would come out of it. That's what I want you to visualize, what you're placing. Wait a minute, I'm getting ahead of myself. But yeah, you're going to place that in the center. Listen. Stay with me. I'm excited, but let me gather and let me stay here. You're going to place that in the center. It's going to open itself up. like you can visualize a beam of energy coming out of that cell. Now, once you visualize it coming out, you should feel the energy in your sacred space lifting up. You may feel some tingling, you may feel some movement, but it should shift the energy, because what it's going to be doing is connecting your intentions throughout your whole space. That's not just your intention for today, it's your intention that you have set on every single day, every single level, day 1, day 2, day 3. Everybody got it? Day 3. It's going to be and day 4. Anything that you want to add in there for yourself, for everyone who stays with you, everything that's connected to you, everything that's going on in your life, just take a moment to visualize that. Once you have that, let it stay there for 5 minutes. After the 5 minutes, you can remove the object because the work will have been done. You will be at the core of you. You will have your self alignment with your sacred space, your community, your neighborhood, your state, your county, your world, everything. You will be in alignment. Next place we're going to go is your entrance place. So if that is a room that you're in, I want you to think about this, because this is about your openness to endless possibilities. Make sure you clear the entrance way and place something welcoming there, like a small bowl or an object. You can place a card there. You can make a card if you want. You can put a card there. Put something welcoming when you're first coming in your entrance way. This is something that needs to be inside of your physical space, even if it's inside a house and inside a room. So wait till you get in the room. So it has to be inside. Because once we leave the outer world and we open the door to the building, to our house, to our apartment, to wherever we're entering in, you are crossing over into the altar. And that's why most doorways, when you're coming in, you step in. There's a stepping in, because you are leaving the external world and you are entering into the altar. Your whole entire house is your altar. That is your sacred space. Everything in there is an altar. I know we have many altars around our space, but once you close that door, you are in the altar. So get something there that's small, that is welcoming. You can put flowers there. You can put a plant there. It can be a real or artificial plant. It can be a picture. It could be a drawing that your children did or that you did. It can be, a diffuser that is there that you can put at the beginning, if you have those battery lit candles, you can put that there. A water feature, anything that will make something welcoming. Or it can be as simple as you writing and making a card that says welcome or greetings or whatever your soul is calling you to do. You're going to put that in the entranceway. And then what you're going to do as your activation statement, you are going to be affirming openness to new and supportive energies entering into your life. You are going to affirm that you are open to new and supportive energies to enter into your life. Okay? You're going to put that in there. And then we're going to go to number 3. Now, this is going to be the back stay with me, left corner. So the back left corner of your house, the back left corner of your room, the back left corner of your sacred space. And right next to that, I want you to write relationships because this is going to be in the far left corner of the entrance place. What you're going to do is place something small that symbolizes relationships that you would like to nurture. So you can put this on a table, you can put this on a stand. It can be like a photo, a plant, or just something meaningful that is going to symbolize and be that symbol for you that you are nurturing your relationships, your true, authentic relationships, starting with the one that you have for yourself, but also the relationship that you have with everything that is in your life. We're going to put human beings at the top of the list, okay? Don't come at me telling me you got a relationship with your couch or with your car. No, no, no. That doesn't go at the top of the list. We're going to put human beings at the top of the list, although it does include relationships with everything that is in our lives. And really, in this um, area, the far left corner of your space, you are activating the relationship corner. This is sort of my version of giving you of what a Bagua map is. And many of you know that feng shui, I have a deep and compassionate love for feng shui. And I've done several shows year after year after year on feng shui that you can tap back into the archives if you want to dive deeper into this practice. But here's a way that we can get this in this 1111 gateway activation to be in perfect alignment. So next, we're going to go to the back right corner, the back right corner. And this back right corner is going to symbolize the work that you are doing in the world or the work that you are aspiring to do in the world. It's going to be your career. It can be your job. It can be your day-to-day work. It could be your passion, what drives you. You're going to put this in the back right corner because this symbolizes how you're showing up in the world. And it's representing things of what you're doing now in the world to help you level up and your aims and goals for future goals in the future. So in the far right corner, I want you to add a notebook. It can be a small notebook or make a small vision board. If you have a vision board, which I don't really call them that, let's say activation board, you are going to take a picture, like so many of you who have participated in the futuristic activation course. We're in a new month. And so, we do activation boards. You can actually take a picture, print it out, have a small version of that. You can use that as well to put it in the back right corner. So in that back right corner, you can do that, or you can get a dedicated notebook. And you can make this out of paper. Don't overthink this. This is not something where you have to run out and get supplies. Everything that I'm telling you, you have access to. Make it available to yourself at home. And I know you will, because this is going to represent for you. Think of it this way. This is kind of like a launch pad for where your intentions will start to take flight, right? And so you want to put this in the back right corner. And here's the thing, if it's possible, as close as you can get to that back right corner, I want you to be writing and journaling in that part of the room. I want you to be writing and journaling in that part of the room. This is what. Now, I know many of you are a little behind, and that's okay. Believe you me, you still have time to keep up. But I want you to understand that I want you to do your very best to dedicate at least 10 minutes for yourself. These things that I'm giving you do not take that long. And of course, you are worth it. And listen, I would be remiss if I didn't say this. Ooh, I feel so bad for anyone who's missing this. I feel so bad because this can be a game changer for the rest of 2024 and into 2025. Anyone who's not doing this is kind of selling themselves short. So we can do this. Take some time, set the timer, 10, 15 minutes somewhere during your day, your morning, your night, your afternoon, and begin to do this. Okay? I know it's a little bit of work, but we're going to put this work in now so that we can benefit from our work in the future, because I know you can do it. So in that back right corner, you're going to put that in there. Whenever possible, if you have the notebook, you're going to spend at least 2 to 3 minutes writing in that notebook every single day. And you're going to be writing things as it relates to how you show up in the world, the work that you're doing, your future goals. You're going to share some reflection in that notebook. You don't have to do it every single day, but you want to put something there. We're on day 4. This is where the doors open. Day 4 is connected to the sign of Aquarius in astrology. Hence the reason I waited until we had that beautiful moon just kind of glide itself, just kind of sliding on into the energy of Aquarius. It's very collective. It's very futuristic. It is very forward thinking. It's very innovative, right? It is very intelligent and goal seeking. So we are in this energy now. This is the perfect time for us to begin to start doing this work at this time. So this is where you're launching, where your intentions will take flight. So those are going to be your 4 steps that you're going to be working with. Now, I want you to understand to spend some time in each one of these areas of your sacred space, of your room, of your house, of your space where you're staying at, where you spend most of your time. Set the timer for 3 to 10 minutes, if however, and effectively focus, and be close with your activation statements. And here's what I'm going to give you. I want you to tailor this to your true, authentic self. My space supports my highest intention. I am in harmony and in flow with my growth. My space supports my highest intention. I am in harmony and flow with my growth. So there you go. There you go. This is your quantum energy activation blueprint chart. And you know how to tap into that energy. So I'm going to take a few questions here and then we're going to get ready to get to work. Minga says, Ms.Blue, is the left and right that is seen when we enter the room? Yes, this is seen when we enter the room if you're doing it from your room perspective. If you are doing it from your front door, from when you enter the house, then it is from the front door. So depending on where you are, that's where you're going to start. These are powerful activations here. for us to do as we continue on the leveling up challenge on how to level up challenge that we are taking in. And today is the level up challenge day 4, the 1111 gateway activation. We are aligning before this gateway closes. You do know that cycles and times and things close themselves out. But we are doing this with the 4 energy and with the support of the constellation energy of Aquarius, which is also helping us to open up new doors and new opportunities and endless possibilities. Well, there you go, Soul Family. I am super excited for all of us to get this done. Don't forget, if you received anything from what you were listening here, please hit that like button. It's more than 200 of you listening. It would just help this channel and myself out greatly for you to hit that like button, share it with a friend, share it with someone you know that wants to be uh, connected with this energy. And you can do it. The beautiful thing about this is that you can do this now. You can do this now. I see some questions. I'm moving in 2 weeks to my mom. Should I do this at her house? When you get to your mother's house, you make that decision there, but you don't want to miss this energy that's right in front of you. Remember, tomorrow is not promised to us. We are no longer waiting to live our greatest and our best life. Life is worth living, so we must live now. Live in the moment of now. Do not put off tomorrow what you can do today. That is so key. If we haven't learned anything, we must learn that. And beyond all things, you must trust yourself. Now, let me know in the comments if you are still here listening at this point. Once you come back and comment on the show, I want you to put the best thing you are taking away from this challenge that it has done for you. If you could use 2 words to describe it, put those 2 words in the comment section. The other thing is, if you really, really like this challenge, and for those of you, because you really seem to be digging it and you guys are really giving beautiful feedback, I'm thinking about doing another challenge, but another challenge after we finish this one, more tapped into the intuition. But this is going to be for those who's ready to do this work. I know y'all say y'all about this work. Where my priestess at in the building, see, because they understand this pace of this work coming at you like this, and those who are in self-invested, because this is how we do the work. We stay ready so we don't have to get ready, and we have fun doing it. I'm calling it a challenge, but really these are things that we should really be giving to ourselves on a day-to-day basis. Think about how much during your day that you are thinking about what's happening in your life right now. What if you were in the habit of living in the present moment, taking actions, paying attention to signs and symbols, tapping into the multisensory world, reading the messages from our ancestors and our spirit guides, listening to the assistance of our animal totems, you will be living a life that is so much more free flowing and eliminate so many distractions in your life, because you will know that you are the creator in your world. And that's going to free you up to create some more so that you can share your gifts and talents with the world and really continue to help us to elevate the frequency and the consciousness within our own lives and also the world around us. I am Ms.Blue, the Soulful Oracle. I am sending you so much peace and love. I'm going to get out of here, but I love you all. And I cannot wait for us to continue this conversation in the comments section. Peace.